At the grey edge of Tharbad, where the slow waters of the Gwathlo widened and tasted faintly of the sea, the companions stood upon the worn stones of the quay. There they bid farewell to Adolphus, having, after some quiet deliberation, set their names into the great register, where the comings and goings of the free folk were marked in careful hand against the forgetfulness of years. From there they sought the ferry and found Baron the ferrymaster, a broad-shouldered man with a beard stiff as river reeds and a voice like gravel under water. Words were traded, brows were knit, and coin passed from palm to palm, until at last Baron nodded and struck the bargain. Thus passage was secured for the companions, and for their 3 tall horses, and a 1 stout pony who snorted unhappily at the smell of the river. Soon they embarked, and the ferry pushed out upon the Gwathlo, its timbers creaking like old bones. As the current bore them across the channel, the bargemen took up a song, rough at first, but growing fairer as it echoed across the water. They sung of Queen Nimue of Londea, bright-crowned and fearless, who ruled the haven by the sea. They told how a great serpent rose from the dark to deepen the waves, and how Nimue stood with spear in hand, calling upon the courage of her people until the monster was cast down and the waters were made safe again. At length the southern docks came into view, and the ferry ground against the stones. The companions disembarked and made their way to the ferry gate, and then to the Gondor gate, seeking word of Yari. Yet no tidings were found there, no mark of his passing, and the gate wardens shook their heads. Nor did hope fare any better at the north gate, which stood closed by the order of the Master of Tharbad. There, lingering in the shadow of the walls, they encountered a knot of hard-eyed folk. Former servants of the Master, now turned against him. These had robbed the erstwhile lord and sought to flee the city with their ill-gotten gains. Boldly they spoke and would have drawn the companions into their cause, but the companions would not be swayed and turned aside from such a road. Still unwilling to let the day pass idly by, they went to the great library of Tharbad, whose halls smelled of dust and ink and of old wisdom. Many fine books they examined, and by patience and gentle speech they even won leave from the wary librarian to consult one of the master's restricted volumes. There they found mention of a small jetty far to the north, at the edge of Swanfleet. The book spoke in guarded words of a harbour, of vagabonds and thieves hidden among the reeds and mist, and of the ghost bird, an ancient watcher and protector of the swamps, and of the 7 stones of Setanamit, whose purpose was long forgotten, but whose presence was still felt. Yet for all his lore, Yari remained unfound. Evening drawing on, the companions withdrew to the Roadhouse Inn, where firelight chased away the chill and ale loosened weary limbs. There at last a message awaited them, a letter from Yari himself. Brief and firm, it bade them cease their pursuit. He was, it seemed, still within the city, yet as unreachable as a shadow at dusk, seen, suspected, but never caught. Thus ended that day in Tharbad, with more questions than answers, and the sense that unseen paths were crossing theirs, even now, in silence.